Hey everybody, it's Angie and welcome to Hot and Flashy. Today's video is going to be an all drugstore makeup try on and review and wear test. So I have a whole desk full of products in front of me here. What I wanted to do today was a simple, easy, lightweight summertime makeup look since summer is right around the corner. And so I've picked products that are not full coverage, you know, not super makeup-y looking makeup. And these are also things that have been highly requested over the last couple of weeks and months, things that have kind of gone viral and things that people are saying is fantastic. And I sure hope they are because, you know, I always want my makeup try-ons to go super well and to have it all look great and last, that we can find great new products that I can recommend to you guys. So fingers crossed for this bunch of things. And all the makeup that I have to try on for you today, I purchased with the exception of the mascara. The mascara that I'm going to use was Scent and PR. It's from Essence. It's their Lash Without Limits mascara, and it comes in both brown and black. So we'll be giving that a try, as well as the CoverGirl Essence foundation. This is really interesting looking foundation. It's got skincare in it, and it has little color beads in it that are supposed to pop and then give you some coverage. And then the concealer I'm going to try is the new L'Oreal True Match Concealer, and this has 1.5% hyaluronic acid in it, so that should be nice and hydrating. I've got a couple of things from Physicians Formula, a couple of things from About Face, a couple of things from the Ulta house brand, so kind of a mishmash, lots of the drugstore brands represented here today. So let's get started trying on some new makeup. So the foundation I'm going to try today is the CoverGirl Simply Ageless Skin Perfector Essence. I picked this up in two shades. I have it in light medium and medium. All right, so I'm going to go in with the medium shade. I've already tried the light medium shade. It was too light. And this also contains anti-aging skincare. It contains bakuchiol and tranexamic acid. My face is freshly washed. I did use sunscreen because, you know, no sunscreen in this. So I'm using my Haru Haru Wonder Black Rice Airy Fit sunscreen, which is a clear sunscreen. I didn't want to use anything tinted today so that we could see what the tint on this was and how much coverage we actually get out of this. So I'm going to go ahead and burst the beads on the back of my hand first, just to get this mixed together a little bit. Then I'm going to use the Nikki LaRose N17 brush on the cream lotion side and start applying it. So I'm going to do one side of my face first just so that we can see the level of coverage. This feels very wet, very watery going on. It feels very moisturizing, very hydrating. Yeah, it's definitely giving some coverage, evening out the redness. So far, I actually kind of like it. All right, that was one pump. I don't think I did a full pump. I think I did like 3/4 of a pump to start. Definitely has a lightweight serum texture to it. It's giving a nice glow to the skin. Looks just a little streaky here on my nose. What is it with our nose skin? It's just like the stuff just doesn't stick to it. And I feel like the more I try to put it on here, the more it just is pulling it off my nose. You know, I might have to end up putting some concealer on my nose, because this just isn't sticking there and I might need a little concealer there. But as far as the rest of my face goes, it is giving more coverage than I thought it would, and it definitely feels very lightweight. It doesn't feel sticky or oily or anything. So far this seems really good. So the concealer I'm going to use today is the L'Oreal True Match Radiant Serum Concealer. It's got 1.5% hyaluronic acid and caffeine. The shade I have it in is N3. They're calling this an iron-shaped doe foot applicator, as though you're going to iron out your wrinkles by putting it on. It's a cute shape. I'm not sure it's going to iron anything though. And I'm going to use my A506 brush to blend that in. Okay, that went on really nicely. It's probably going to be too light, but I'm just going to add a little bit right here. That actually looks fine, covered up that pimple, made the end of my nose look less red, so far so good. You know, I always set my under eye concealer and my T-zone, so I've got a new setting powder for that. This is the e.l.f. HD powder in the shade Soft Illuminance. I've got a nice new e.l.f. blush brush to apply that with. Got some in the cap here. Just gonna rub it in the cap to pick it up. I'm just gonna press it everywhere that I want to set. Okay, well that is a nice looking powder. It's very lightweight, but it does have tiny, tiny little mica glitter flecks in it. They are microscopic, so I don't know if my camera will pick them up, but I can see them. So this eye is set, this eye is not set. I think it's a nice looking powder. It's definitely more illuminating than what I'm used to. I'm used to having something that's a little bit more matte, but I don't mind it. All right, for the bronzer today, I've got the new Physicians Formula Mineral Wear Diamond Bronzer. This is in the shade Bronze Gem. I think this is like a cream to powder, so it feels a little bit oily. There's the shade on it. I'm just gonna pop it around. Oh my goodness, that's very sheer, very pretty. Just kind of gives a nice sun-kissed glow. Oh, I like that. It's really easy to work with, and it seems like it's going to be super easy to blend. And the color isn't bad. It's nice and warm, very summery, very sun-kissed, but so sheer and subtle. That's pretty. All right, for the blush today, I've got a ColourPop stick blush. This is in the shade Mini Me. And I'm going to use my BK A507 to blend that out. Ooh, that's really pretty too. It's very natural looking, very glowy, good color for the summer, easy to apply. I grabbed a highlighter from Flower Beauty, Spotlight Liquid Highlighter in the shade Opal. It comes up on the tip of the applicator there. I mean, this is pretty glowy. I don't even think you really need a highlighter, but I'll just add the tiniest bit right at the tops of my cheekbones. And I'll blend that in with the BK 109. All right, that's really pretty too. It's not super blingy and it's not super highlighty. So if you like a really subtle highlight, this is really pretty. And I love it that the blush and the highlighter and the bronzer didn't remove the pigment of the foundation. So it just layered on top of it really, really nicely. All right, so for our eyeshadows today, I picked up some things from the Ulta Beauty house brand. So these are the Ulta Beauty Longwear Cream eyeshadows. I got one from the metallic collection and one from the Longwear matte collection. All right, let's go in with the matte one first. This is a really pretty color. It's called Game Over. I'm just gonna apply that right to my eyelids. These are supposed to be long wearing. They're not supposed to require any kind of a primer or anything. And I'm just gonna use my fingers to tap and blend it. Ooh, that is such a pretty color. Ooh, that's really nice. I like that. I'm just gonna grab a BK 207, which is a tiny, tiny blender, and just get that blended in at the corner. Sometimes my fingers are just a little bit big and clunky to get into the inner corner and make that blend out smoothly. I probably should have used the brush instead of my fingers because I got it all into my concealer at the inner corner, which is kind of a bummer. Might have to reapply the concealer down there. But all right, let me go ahead on in with the metallic one. This one is called My Jam. Here at the inner corner. Well, I'll tell you what, I think I put on way too much of the matte shade. I think I could have done with a lot less. It's very thick. I just feel like I went a little heavy-handed with it. The combo of the two is really pretty. For the eyeliner today, I got this liner from About Face. It is their Line Artist liner. In the shade Blue is the New Black. It's a mechanical pencil. I'm going to do my upper waterline. Nice and creamy, went on super easily. I think I'm just going to do the upper waterline. And then for the lower waterline, I picked up another product from About Face. This is actually an eyeshadow, which I had planned to use in the crease here, but I'm not sure I need it because this is already getting a little dark. I don't want it to get any smokier. So I thought I could just use this for my lower liner because it's a nice shimmery, like taupe color. So this is the About Face Shadow Stick in the shade Actual Ambrosia. Because I like to use something that's not black, but I still like to line my lower lashes. So I usually go for like a taupe or a lavender. All right, now let's go in with the mascara. I've got the Essence Wow Length Lash Without Limits Extreme Lengthening and Volume Mascara. Comes in a brown and also a black. Go ahead and use the brown. I've had some people who asked about brown mascara. Ooh, this brown's really pretty. You know, I haven't had much luck with Essence mascaras in the past. It looks really pretty going on. I'm just hoping that it will wear well through the day. I usually like them going on, but then later in the day, they kind of crash and burn on me. So hopefully this one won't. That looks nice. It's a really rich brown. All right, let me figure out what I'm doing about this eyeshadow on the inner corners. It's killing me because this concealer looked so good and now it's got eyeshadow on it. But I feel like I should just put on a little extra. Just a dot to get rid of that shadow there. Okay, if that ends up getting super creasy and weird, we won't be too mad at it. I'm just gonna reset that with a little bit of that e.l.f. setting powder. Oh, and this makeup is looking really, really good so far. So far, I'm really happy with everything. You know, like this never happens. My makeup try-ons always go so sideways. It's kind of freaky. Okay, and so the last things are the lippy. So I have a lip liner from CoverGirl, but I also have a plumping lip gloss from Physicians Formula. The CoverGirl lip liner is their Simply Ageless Lip Flip Liner in Elegant Nude. All right, that's a pretty color, very pink. I was hoping for it to be a little more nude. The lip gloss is Physicians Formula Diamond Plumper in Champagne Cushion Cut. It's really glossy. It doesn't feel super gooey or sticky. Gives a nice amount of coverage, nice amount of color. All right, and here's the finished makeup look. Oh, I just really, really like this whole look. I'm so surprised. You know what? I gotta say, the drugstore makeup is coming a long way. Usually there's at least a couple of instant fails with the drugstore makeup. As always, we'll give it the 10-hour wear test on it. So it is now 12 o'clock noon. So I'll come back at 5 o'clock and 10 o'clock and we'll see how this wears throughout the day. Thought we would do a super bright sunshine test on the CoverGirl Essence. Hey you guys, I'm back. It's 5 p.m. Time for the 5-hour check-in on the makeup. What I'm noticing about it first is that it's a little bit shiny right up in here. It's kind of making me look a little bit sweaty in the little triangle of sweatiness here around my upper lip and by the sides of my nose. Other than that, the makeup is staying in place really, really well. For something so lightweight and so watery and so sheer, it really gave a good amount of coverage, but looks really natural on the skin and is really staying in place well. I was expecting this to be completely gone at like 4 hours, and here we are 5 hours in. And I can see that like the coverage is mainly still in place. The eyeshadow is also wearing really well. I have tried some other of these like one and done cream eyeshadows in the last few makeup reviews that I did, and they just did not last, and they were so much more expensive than these. I gotta say, the mascara is wearing really well. I'm usually getting like flakes and chips and smudging off of Essence mascaras by now, and there isn't any of that. The concealer is in place on my nose and still concealing like my little pimple here. And of course the lippy is a little bit worn off, and the powder that I used didn't keep me nice and mattified for the full day. I did really enjoy the Physicians Formula lip plumper, but I didn't really feel like it did any plumping per se. Right, hey you guys, I'm back. It's time for the 10-hour check-in. It's 10:30 p.m. So overall, I think, you know, it looks relatively in place, but super shiny, right? Like it's definitely super shiny in here and kind of all over my face. I just look like a little sweaty and I don't love that look. So I actually do like this foundation a lot. I think for something that gives such light skin-like, like not even there coverage, it's really beautiful for the first half of the day, or maybe with a little bit of a more matte setting powder for me anyway. If you have super dry skin, you may just love this as it is, but on me, it definitely gets kind of shiny and a little bit, you know, oily looking in the afternoon. So I would definitely wear this again. I like it a lot. I think it looks very natural, very skin-like. It looks like nothing on your skin, but it does give you some coverage and it stays in place really well. I think it's really, really good. And I think that people with drier skin than me could really like it just as is. But if you do have a little bit of an oily T-zone like I do, definitely gonna get some shine later in the day. The setting powder that I set it with, I probably would not use this again just because it does have those fine little glitter mica particles in it, and I don't really like anything with glitter on my skin. And when I look at this with my, you know, 5X mirror, I can see all the little glitter particles still like in my under eye concealer. So I don't love that about this. Otherwise, I think the powder was okay. It seems to be working in some areas, like it's working on the under eye concealer, but it's not working here anymore to keep things mattified. So my favorite powder, the NYX Mineral Matte Powder, way better than this one. On the concealer, it does look really crusty under there, but it did have 3 layers of makeup. It looks really super dry, especially at the inner corners, definitely creased. But I'm not sure that if I just had on 1 coat of this with my normal setting powder, if that would be the case. But I really like how this has lasted on my nose and covered up my little pimple there. For the rest of the face products, I like them all. I think my favorite of these 3 is this bronzer, this Physicians Formula Diamond Bronzer. It's really pretty and it's a really cool feeling product. Kind of looks like a powder, but it's a cream, so it goes on really easily. The color's really nice. It blends really nicely. Let's talk about the Ulta eyeshadows. These are really, really good. Talk about staying power. Look at that staying power on that. That is still in place all day. No settling in my crease. I love it. These are great. Probably gonna pick up some more of these. And the metallic finish one is really pretty too. So for this, I would use it sparingly, and I would definitely use a smaller brush like this BK 207. For the About Face products that I use for eyeliners, these are still in place and they still look great. This one in my upper waterline. I mean, look at that, 10 hours later and that has not budged. And this other one, the taupe one that I use for the lower liner, that is still in place and that hasn't budged either. So these are awesome. So far, I've tried 3 products from About Face and I really love them all. So this is a really good brand. Oh, and the mascara. Oh my gosh, you guys, first Essence mascara that I've ever really liked that has lasted throughout the day. So this looks really great. The lashes are pretty and silky and long, but there's no flaking and no chipping, so no smudging either, so really like the mascara. The CoverGirl lip liner, I think this was just okay for me. I didn't really feel like it did anything for me, and I feel like it actually ran up into my lip wrinkles a little bit, so not too impressed with this lip liner, but I did really like this gloss. I don't feel like it was super plumping, but I feel like it was nice and moisturizing to wear, and I like the amount of color payout that it gave. And I think that it is a really pretty color. Has a nice amount of pigment to it. It's very comfortable to wear. So a pretty successful trying on drugstore makeup day. This is pretty amazing. Usually from these videos, I come away from it liking 1, maybe 2 products. In this video, I only don't like 1, maybe 2 products. So the only thing I really wouldn't buy again or recommend is the e.l.f. powder. So this was a fun video. I'm glad we found some good new drugstore makeup. Links for everything will be in the info box below the video. And so that is it for today's video. So I hope you found it helpful and informative. If you did, go ahead and give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. As always, I thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you watching. I hope you have a great day and I will see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.